Now on CoastTV News.
How the record-breaking drought is impacting some people's driving in one Sussex County town. And new pictures on your screen now of the Rehoboth Beach Taco Bell fire, what the fire marshal has released. The battle for North Carolina, both candidates campaigning today in the key swing state.
We're in for a cold night on the Delmarva Peninsula under mainly clear skies and more cool, crisp weather for our Sunday, but a warming trend into the election week as the dry conditions continue. My full forecast is next.
This is CoastTV News at 11.
Good evening, I'm Brandon Ferguson and welcome to CoastTV News at 11. Tonight we begin with the historic drought on Delmarva. Today is day 36 of drought conditions on Delmarva. Yesterday, the 35th day breaking the record for no rainfall, and it's causing locals some issues. On your screen now is a Milton construction site that has caused complaints because of dirt and dust on the road, and these drought conditions are making this problem much worse.
So every day they come out and work, there's no rain to wash it down. Some mornings you can't hardly see across this road right here. This morning about 9:30, I couldn't see across the street.
As temperatures start to dip, Denrex says there are ways to help conserve water even in the cold. Denrex says make sure your furnace works, and that keeps pipes from freezing and reduces the need to leave faucets dripping. Insulate any exposed pipes you might have and fix any leaks before temps drop so you can avoid bigger issues. We now take a live look into Dover from our Bay Health Kent campus camera, and our first alert meteorologist Chris Mastrobuono joins us.
Well, we continue to break records with each passing day as our drought continues on Delmarva. Looking back at October, it was the driest month on record with just a trace of rain as we continue to see the dry conditions 36 days and counting without measurable rain. Now, election day itself looking dry and warmer with temperatures rising into the mid to upper 70s. As I mentioned, the month of October, bone dry. Now, these records go back to 1945. The driest October on record was in 1963, 9/10 of an inch. The driest month on record, November of 2012, where we saw 1/10 of an inch. A trace this month marking the driest month on record. And we continue to march on without measurable rain dating back to September of 27. And there you see the temperatures over the course of October. We had our hottest temperature of 84 degrees, coolest temperature of 30. Note the rainfall deficit, though, over 4 inches. And you can see, no rain for the month of October. And we continue to see bone dry conditions throughout much of the eastern half of the country as high pressure settles in and keeps us dry. We'll talk about that warming trend and if there's any rain in sight coming up.
Delaware courts are warning about an uptick in phone scams. Authorities say scammers are posing as court officials, demanding for cash, for fake fines, or arrest warrants. They've sent texts with fake arrest orders recently as well. Remember, courts will never ask for immediate payments or direct you to unofficial locations. And if you receive a suspicious call, hang up and then contact local law enforcement. On your screen now is where the Delaware State Fire Marshal says a fire started last night just before 9 p.m. Authorities say flames were coming through a wall near the entrance of a Taco Bell in Rehoboth Beach. Officials say all workers and customers inside the Taco Bell all left safely. The cause of this fire is still under investigation. Be sure to tune in to CoastTV News on election night for coverage of all of the key elections on Delmarva and the CoastTV News website, and download our app for instant notifications on all of the key elections. President Joe Biden was in Scranton, Pennsylvania today, where he spoke on unions and organized labor. Biden also touched on the importance of this election.
3 days to Election Day, and the stakes couldn't be higher. The choice couldn't be clearer. A lot of politicians have trouble saying the word union, but I'm not one of them.
Now, this video just hours after those remarks were made. President Biden seen getting off Air Force One in Wilmington. On your screen now is video in front of the Midway Voting Center in Rehoboth Beach. Throughout this morning, a gathering of Trump supporters were seen with signs and music. The group said they were a part of the Patriots of Delaware. With both candidates in North Carolina today, it's clear that despite Republicans winning the state in 10 of the last 11 presidential elections, it is very much in play this time.
Tonight, both campaigns making a big push for North Carolina and its 16 electoral votes.
We win this state, we're going to win the whole ball game, you know.
The former president, who has never lost in this state, making 4 stops in the final 3 days of campaigning. At a rally in Gastonia, attacking the Biden-Harris response to Hurricane Helene.
You've been through a lot. Your government has not helped you too much.
Tonight, he'll make his way to Greensboro, a blue region in the purple state.
Well, the former president's supporters have been lining up hours before he's scheduled to speak here, but this is also an early voting site, and voters on the other side of this complex have been casting their ballots on the last day of early voting here in North Carolina.
North Carolina has toppled its previous early voting record, with Republicans outpacing Democrats by more than 50,000 votes. Voters determined to make their voices heard, even in communities hard hit by Hurricane Helene.
People are motivated to vote, and they want their voices heard, especially in a time of need.
A Democrat hasn't taken North Carolina in a presidential race since 2008, but polls show a tight race here. NBC's Antonia Hilton is in Raleigh.
It's taking up to 2 hours to get through this early voting line, and it's full of young and diverse voters, exactly the demographics Harris needs if she wants a chance at flipping this state.
Meantime, in Greensboro, some people voting for the first time. First-time voter. How does it feel?
Feels great. Feels great. Feel like I got something accomplished.
How did it feel today to cast your first vote?
Feels good that I did my part.
A close race in a critical state which could pave the path to the White House.
It's been a record-breaking turnout in the state. More than half of the North Carolina voters have already cast their ballots, and each campaign believes this turnout will favor them. Football is back on Coast TV tomorrow night for Sunday Night Football. Tune in for Joe Flacco and the Colts versus the Vikings, coming in on a 2-game losing streak. Coverage starts at 7 on Coast TV, and stay with us after the game for more local news.
Well, if you're making your way out to brunch, it's going to be a cold start. Temperatures rising, though, through the 50s through the noontime hour. With plenty of sunshine, we talk warmer temperatures in that extended forecast coming up.
After the break, we have a look on everything that's happened on Delmarva this week. We'll be back in just 60 seconds.
My dad, Mike Ramone, is a different kind of public servant. I know what you're thinking. Yeah, right. But I know from my own experience how much he cares about everyone. He's a great father and grandfather. You can see how much their futures matter to him. And he has the same passion for your kids' future. He's focused on fixing our schools and getting teachers and students the resources they need. What I can promise is he'll be a great governor for all of Delaware.
At the Delmarva Design Center, appliances, cabinetry, countertops, tile, and flooring come together in one showroom. We have specialists in each division like myself in cabinetry to ensure that you have the best product to fit your needs. And your selection fits seamlessly with every element of your project.
It was very important to find somebody that was knowledgeable in the whole picture, the cabinetry, the appliances, and the countertop. We are delighted with the outcome.
Delmarva Design Center. Great design starts with great inspiration. Selbyville, Delaware.
From a new BMX track to Lewis water main construction, there was a lot going on this week here on the coast, and Charlie Sakaitis has a look at our weekend review.
Monday, the city of Lewis started water main construction after months of preparations, crews fusing together the new pipe. This comes 2 months after an older pipe failed in August, causing a water emergency. Tuesday, shovels hit the dirt as a big crowd gathered for the groundbreaking of the new Sussex Tech High School. There was plenty of clapping and cheering as students, faculty, and community members were on hand. The new building, it's not going to be ready until closer to 2027, but once the doors open, the school says they'll be able to offer more classes, clubs, and opportunity to their students. Wednesday, the only BMX track in Delaware found out it's here to stay. The city of Milford approving a 5-year lease with First State BMX. The nonprofit, located behind the high school, has more than 200 members and holds races all throughout the year. Thursday, the creepy, the crawly, the spooky, and ooky all got to come out and play. Halloween reaching the coast. You could find trick-or-treaters all across Delmarva, but in Lewis, a particularly good time was had by all. Careful, kids. Don't eat all that candy in one go. Friday, Delaware broke the record for drought, 35 straight days with no rain, and it doesn't look like there's a lot of opportunity for that to change moving forward. Dry conditions impacting farmers, vineyards, water usage, and it's the reason for a burn ban that started on October 15th and is still in place today. For your Weekend Review, I'm Charlie Sakaitis.
Coming up later on Coast TV News, a new IRS contribution limit, how this might help you save a little cash.
Well, those fall colors really beginning to show on the peninsula. You can see we're near peak throughout the spine of the Delmarva Peninsula, and that's going to continue to rise to the peak here over the next few weeks. We do talk dry and milder conditions in that 7-day forecast coming up next.
As a math teacher, Matt Meyer knows that Delaware's tax system isn't adding up. So he has a plan to fix it. Give middle-class families a tax cut, invest in schools, and lower costs. But Mike Ramon's plan gives tax breaks to the ultra-rich, which could cut education by nearly $175 million. Matt Meyer knows these numbers don't add up. He'll make state taxes fair so families can get ahead. Vote Matt Meyer for governor.
Hi, this is Amber Brazier. Welcome to Brazier's Carpet Care. Drop off your rugs today or have us pick them up and let our state-of-the-art cleaning plant do the rest. Many methods are used to clean rugs, from air dusting to remove fine soil to soaking in our whirlpool. Hand-knotted rugs are carefully washed, rinsed with cold water and wrung out, followed by a trip through the centrifuge before entering our controlled temperature drying room. We also repair all types of rugs from braided to hand-knotted. Quality cleaning by people who care. That's Brazier's Carpet Care.
People get involved in all types of risky behavior. When it comes to your home's plumbing or HVAC system, don't risk it. Call Chesapeake Home Services. We take the risk because you shouldn't have to risk your family's finances with any service provider. Choose Chesapeake Home Services and get our risk-free buy-it-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied for any reason within the first year and we can't fix it, we'll buy it back. Chesapeake Home Services. We take the risk so you don't have to.
Service sure to make you smile. They always go the extra mile.
I'm Larry Hogan, and I approve this message. Like you, I'm fed up with all the political BS. You know me. You know my proven record of reaching across the aisle to find common ground. I'm not just another Republican. I'll make your life more affordable and support a woman's right to choose. You know I have the courage to put people over politics and country over party, and I'll be the same strong, independent leader I've always been. Join us. I'm asking for your trust and your vote.
Well, it was a beautiful day on the peninsula. We had crystal clear blue skies, just a few high clouds. 64 degrees was our high, so we were a degree over that average high of 63 after seeing a morning low of 43. Check out the record high, 82, set back in 1974, and the record low, 23 degrees, set back in 1976. So we are clear. We're going to see a beautiful night. It's going to be a cold night, all thanks to high pressure, clear skies, and calm winds. We'll get that radiational cooling to help drop the temperatures, and we continue to march on in history here, 36 days and counting, as we are now in the midst of our driest stretch of all time here on Delmarva. And these records date back to 1945, and you can see over the next 6 to 10 days beginning to see some signs of some wetter conditions begin to creep back into the peninsula. Not overly impressed with this. And then you see over the next 8 to 14 days slightly above normal, wetter than normal conditions. So we'll see how that develops here over the next few days. It's going to be very warm, though, as we approach Election Day, and then we're going to see temperatures rising to around 80 degrees into next week. Now, also tonight, setting the clocks back an hour, we get an hour of sleep. Make sure you test those smoke alarms, an extra hour of sleep, and look at that, though. Sunrise before 6:30 there, and just after 6:30, and then the sun. Yeah, we're going to see that sunset before 5 o'clock here over the next few days. And there you see clear skies overnight. Could see some overnight lows dipping into the upper 30s, away from the coast, mid to upper 40s at the coast. So it'll be a cold start to your Sunday. Highs tomorrow generally in the upper 50s to lower 60s throughout much of the area. We'll see a high of 60 in Cambridge, 62 Vienna, 62 in Salisbury, 62 Crisfield, and we'll see 62 Ocean City. So clear skies into tomorrow. See a few clouds rolling in, partly cloudy skies into our Monday. As we roll into Election Day, could see a few low clouds to start, but those will quickly burn off through the afternoon, and it is going to be a mild day heading to the polls. We're going to see temperatures actually rising into the upper 70s under those partly cloudy skies, so looking very nice weather-wise. It's not until Thursday we see a cold front move through. Again, not overly impressed with the amount of moisture with this front. Maybe we'll squeak out a shower, but we are going to continue to see dry conditions Friday into the start of next week. So now your Paul Davis 7-day shows that warm up, 77 into Election Day. We're up to 80 into Wednesday. The front comes through Thursday. Maybe we squeak out a shower or two Thursday, and then we are looking at drier conditions Friday through Saturday with highs in the mid to upper 60s.
Our CoastTV News election coverage continues this evening with a focus on the governor's race between Republican Michael Ramone and Democrat Matt Meyer. CoastTV News anchor Charlie Sakaitis asked about a specific component of education, something both candidates have focused on during their campaigns.
Day one priorities, it says, is to expand vouchers. We've seen that in some other places. Arizona is actually an example of where that is happening. ProPublica just did a big expose on it and how it is costing way more than people had anticipated. I believe that the original thought was that it would cost somewhere in the area of $68 million. Instead, it's up over $400 million. And their schools are having a hard time now with this voucher program. Their budgets are having a hard time with the voucher program. How would yours be different? Because a lot of different states have been trying to follow their model, and now their model isn't working.
Well, the problem I'm trying to solve by introducing a mechanism where there could be a tax credit to offset the price of a child to go to a private school or even a Catholic school or any type of a school other than a traditional public school without having to drive 2 hours from the city of Wilmington out to Christina, is something that enables most of our minority population, where all these schools that are doing so poorly are, the opportunity to get a fair education like everyone else. If mom is a single mother living in the city without a real good income with 1 or 2 children, and she doesn't have a choice but to bring them to that school because she can't get anywhere else, that family should be able to qualify for some sort of a tax credit rebate that enables them to survive. If your child only has a choice to go to a school where 95% of the children can't read at reading level by 3rd grade, that child should have a choice to go somewhere else. I'm not saying everyone. What I'm saying is that's part of a solution.
You were a former public school teacher. We just talked with your opponent about education. One of his first day one priorities, he talks about expanding vouchers for schools. What is your opinion of school vouchers?
I believe we need to invest in our public school system. I believe that we have a funding formula that was written in the 1940s. It's the oldest funding formula of any state in the country. Think of the values of those individuals in the 1940s who created the funding formula to fund our schools. That has resulted in unequal funding. They'll often point to the per capita funding of students, but what's actually happening is certain districts are getting resources that they should not get, and many schools, many classrooms are not ending up with the resources that they need. We should also keep in mind that what vouchers will mean, the sort of Republican proposal of vouchers, the privatization of education, is going to result in many Delawareans being left out. If you're struggling and going to a school today that is underserving and under-resourced, that's going to get a lot worse when resources are drained and given to private schools that already have plentiful resources.
CoastTV News at 11. How to keep your health on track with daylight savings time in just a few hours.
We know Maryland. And we know Angela Alsterbrooks is the right choice for Senate.
Angela is the kind of partner I need.
You have a chance to send a leader to the Senate who will always put you first.
She will fight to lower costs and create opportunity.
Control of the Senate could come down to Maryland.
I'm counting on you to support my friend, Angela Alsobrooks.
I'm Angela Alsobrooks. I approve this message. Now let's get to work.
Now it's time for Roofer of the Day. Led by Tyler Hershey, the crew at Hershey Exteriors came out with a strong game plan. It all started with excellent coverage, highlighted by an equipter and protective netting. But Hershey didn't stop there. When they spotted any openings in the roof, boom! They closed the gaps, keeping the home safe from any leaks. And they provide a free Golden Pledge warranty that's backed by GAF. Now that's a game changer. If you need a roof, I'd go with Hershey Exteriors because life is sweeter with Hershey Exteriors.
Chesapeake Healthcare welcomes new adult medicine doctors to their team. Dr. Mitchell Gittleman and his associates are accepting new patients at their office at Winter Place Parkway in Salisbury. Chesapeake Healthcare also expanded their adult medicine team to accept new patients in Pocomoke and their office in Berlin. Together, Chesapeake Healthcare offers an expansive team of adult medicine doctors and practitioners across the Lower Shore in Salisbury, Princess Anne, Berlin, and Pocomoke. Call the office near you today to schedule your appointment.
We'll do the whole carpet in the whole house for $5.
Wait.
Do you even know how to do this? I thought you did.
We are family owned and operated, but I don't think either of you are ready to install yet. At Matt the Carpet Guy, we have the best vinyl plank and carpet in stock, bringing our showroom to you so you can feel confident in the carpet you choose. Matt the Carpet Guy in Selbyville and Salisbury, flooring done right.
Don't forget to turn your clocks back an hour in just a few hours, 2 a.m. As daylight saving time ends, some may feel like they gain an extra hour of sleep, but experts say many times we actually lose sleep during this time change. In today's Health Minute, Mandy Gaither has tips that can help out the whole family.
It's time to fall back. Daylight saving time ends at 2 a.m. Sunday morning, so turn your clocks back an hour.
Anytime there's a big time change, we tend to lose sleep or experience lower quality sleep.
Dr. Chafin Watkins Hart with National Jewish Health says the time change can be hard on everyone, but especially children, older adults, and early birds who avoid going to bed later.
We see higher rates of workplace safety accidents per se in the fall when people become sleep deprived because they've stayed up later but woke up at the same time. We also see a lot of mood changes and higher rates of depression.
To help the whole family get enough Z's, Hart says to start delaying meal times and bedtime by about 15 to 30 minutes leading up to the time change. If you're on a device before bed, make sure the blue light filter is on. Have a dark, cool room to promote quality sleep. Avoid long naps during the day. Expose yourself to light when it's time to wake up. And don't stay up too late the couple of nights before. Hart says this is especially important for children.
They're not going to sleep in the morning, and then they'll be more sleep deprived and more tired the following night.
Hart says children will also need to get out and play during the days before and after the time change so their bodies are ready for sleep. For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
For older adults who may have trouble falling asleep later, Dr. Hart suggests using a light therapy lamp which mimics sunlight and can help a person stay up a little bit later and allow for important socialization with others. As we've just seen and we've been covering throughout the entire drought here on Delmarva, but there's been a drought for the entire United States of America. October has been one of the driest months ever in U.S. history. As October 25th, the average rainfall across the lower 48 states was less than an inch, with New York City and Philadelphia likely having their driest October on record. According to the Climate Prediction Center's latest forecast, nearly the entire lower 48 is likely to have a wetter than normal conditions in early November. The West Coast is an exception. Next year, U.S. workers will be allowed to save a little more pre-tax earnings in their 401k. Retirement funds yesterday, the IRS announced the new contribution limit for 2025 will be $23,500, up $500 from 2024. For those 50 and older, the IRS did not adjust the limit on catch-up contributions, which stands at $7,500. TGI Fridays filed for bankruptcy protection today. In a statement, the executive chairman of the casual dining chain cited the pandemic as being the cause of their financial woes. The company says the bankruptcy only affects the chain's parent company and not the franchises. All the restaurants will remain open, including the dozens that are corporately owned. The company says it will use the Chapter 11 process to explore strategic alternatives in order to ensure long-term viability for the chain. On the stock market, computer chip manufacturer Intel will lose its spot in the Dow Jones Industrial Average. The change comes after a 25-year run. Intel will be replaced by software corporation NVIDIA within the blue chip index. Intel shares have declined 54% this year, making it the worst performer on the index. With the lowest stock price yesterday, Intel's stock fell about 1% in extended trading, while NVIDIA was up by 1.5%. The changes will be effective prior to the open trading on November 8th. We now take a live look into Ocean City, and after the break here on Coast TV News at 11, we have a final check on your forecast. Coast TV News continues in just a few moments.
Prince George's County politician Angela Alsobrooks may live near D.C., but she'd bring tons of baggage. Nearly 2 decades of illegal tax breaks, $59,000 in back taxes, and thousands in unpaid bills. A sweetheart tax deal. Typical politician. Slumlord Alsobrooks? Records show she was caught operating an illegal rental property. With so much baggage, how can we trust Alsobrooks to represent us? Maryland's Future is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Welcome to Sea Level Designs. Come visit us for an extraordinary selection of nautical gifts and decor for your home. Choose from thousands of coastal home accessories, including pillows, accent furniture, lamps, indoor-outdoor rugs, wall decor, and so much more. Whether you live by the beach or just dream of ocean breezes, we have something for everyone in every price range. Be sure to follow us on Instagram and Facebook to keep up with our constantly changing inventory. Sea Level Designs, open year-round in Bethany Beach.
Go Glass. Repair, replace, upgrade, or enhance. Go Glass is your go-to for everything glass, friendly and fast. From our Infinity insulated glass windows that we bake right here on Delmarva, to auto glass, and from shower doors to beautiful glass railings, even screen porches and patio doors. Go Glass is your one-stop shop for everything glass, friendly and fast. Online at go-glass.com. We're proud to be Delmarva's #1 glass company. Go Glass.
At the Delmarva Design Center, appliances, cabinetry, countertops, tile, and flooring come together in one showroom. We have specialists in each division, such as myself in appliances, to ensure that you not only get the best product for your needs, but that your selection fits seamlessly with every element of your remodel.
It's always fun bringing clients into Delmarva Design Center. No matter how much they want to spend, there's always an option for people to pick something that they like.
Delmarva Design Center. Great design starts with great inspiration. Selbyville, Delaware.
Be sure to tune in to Coast TV News on election night for coverage of all of the key elections on Delmarva and the Coast TV website, and download our Coast TV News app for instant notifications on all the key elections. Early voting is still underway and started just 2 weeks ago, and here are some of the stats as of yesterday from the Delaware Department of Elections. All across Delaware, the grand total of early voters is over 187,000 people. So far here in Sussex County, just over 73,000 have participated in early voting. On top of that, almost 12,000 people have voted through absentee ballots, making the total of Sussex County voters 85,158 people. It's time to celebrate the lunchtime staple of a sandwich. Tomorrow, November 3rd, is National Sandwich Day. You can celebrate the day by enjoying a sandwich with a friend and share it on social media using the hashtag National Sandwich Day.
Looking into Dover, it's a cool, calm, and pleasant night. It's going to be a cold one at that, especially away from the coast. We're going to see those overnight lows upper 30s to lower 40s at the coast, generally in the mid to upper 40s under those clear skies and calm winds. So it's going to be a cold start to our Sunday. Nice, cool, crisp day ahead. 59 degrees, and we're going to see those highs right around 60 degrees. Get forecasted any time by calling our First Alert weather phone, and there's the warming trend into Election Day. 77 degrees, 80 by Wednesday. Front comes through Thursday. Could squeak out a shower, and then we see more dry conditions Friday through Saturday.
Thanks for joining us here for Coast TV News at 11. For more news and local weather, download our Coast TV News app. Saturday Night Live starts right now. Have a great night, everybody.